Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. Welcome to another edition of the Recruitment Report. Right then, here we go. You know those names in football, especially with Cardiff, that just carry a bit of extra weight. Koumas is one of them. Jason Koumas was pure magic. A player so technically gifted, he made football look so easy. And now, maybe it's time for the next chapter of that story. Because today, we're talking about Rhodri Giggs, a Liverpool prospect, a Wales international, and a player that Cardiff City should seriously be eyeing up. This is the Recruitment Report. And this one, for me at least, is a little bit special. So let's get into it. Who is Rhodri Giggs? So Rhodri Giggs is just 19 years old. He was born in Chester, and yes, of course, he is Jason Koumas' son. Already, that is a hell of a legacy to carry. He's come through at Liverpool's, joined their academy in 2016 after a brief spell at Tranmere, and to be honest, he's had a bit of a rapid rise, in fairness. In the last 18 months or so, he's right-footed, he's sharp, he's technically very polished. He plays primarily across the front line. He can play right wing, he can play as a 9, he can play as a 10, you name it. He's got that versatility that most modern forwards are expected to have. But don't get this twisted, right? He is not just Jason Koumas' kid. He is making his own name, his own career, and his own reputation. The breakout begins. Let's rewind to last season. Well, let's rewind back to 23-24 actually. This was the breakout. Koumas was flying at the 18s and 21s level for Liverpool, scoring 12 goals across all the youth competitions, creating 6 assists. That kind of output at academy level gets you noticed. But it was what came next that kind of raised a few eyebrows. He made his senior debut for Liverpool in a cup against Southampton, not only starting but impressing with the way he played, with a special mention from the manager. That was his first senior game in front of a packed house in the FA Cup. And then you move on to 24-25 and the Championship football, but also Senior Wales Cups. So here's where it gets really interesting. 24-25 season was a real test for Rhodri Giggs. Liverpool sent him out on loan to Stoke City in the Championship. Not League 2, not Scotland, the Championship. It's a brutal, intense and physically demanding league. But he didn't just go and sit on the bench all season. He featured heavily. And when you look at his Championship numbers, 43 games, 3 goals, 5 yellow cards, which shows he's not afraid to get stuck in. 2 FA Cup appearances, scoring twice against Cardiff City. He made 49 appearances in all competitions with 6 goals in total. For a 19-year-old, it's an incredible return for the experience level. But it didn't stop there. Craig Bellamy took over at Wales and called Jason Koumas up into the senior squad straight away. He didn't put him in the 21s. He got him in with the big boys straight away. And guess what? Already got 6 caps. No goals yet. But he's played well and done well off the bench. The fact that he is even playing for the first team at 19 says a lot of what they think of him. Making his debut against Gibraltar in June 24, and he's been a part of the squad ever since Bellamy took over. But what kind of player is Rhodri Giggs? Well, I mean, let's break it down. What exactly is Rhodri Giggs? Is he a winger, a striker, a 10? He's a bit of everything, really. He is what you would call a modern forward. He's fluid, he's intelligent, he's mobile. I think he's best off the right, but as with most players these days in these forward positions, he likes to play off the left and cut in, but he can play through the middle. Think a bit, Diego Jota type forward. He's real sharp over 5 yards, something which Cardiff have lacked drastically for years. That out and out blistering pace. He finds pockets of space between defenders and he constantly scans and moves on the pitch. He is difficult to pick up, and when he does get the ball, he's even more difficult to stop. But as always, I like to have a bit of a data dive. So let's have a little bit of a nerd out. Let's have a look at some of these stats. FB Ref and SofaScore saying this. In the Championship this season, he averaged around 1.1 shot per game, but more than 50% of them were on target. Big numbers. His XG per 90 minutes was 0.16, which again is decent considering he's not playing as a number 9. Successful dribbles on average over the season, 52%. That's a pretty good and efficient successful dribble rate. And when you look at his off the ball work, his pressing intensity, his recovery runs, his defensive duels, he's well ahead of the average 19-year-old forward. He works hard, he's clever, he's not just a pace merchant. His movement is purposeful, he doesn't waste a lot of energy, and he's always looking to run off the back of the shoulder of the defender, but he can also drop into the 10 space or overload the midfield. He's a real clever player, and he's a real good profiler player for someone like Brian Barry Murphy. But most of all for me, he does something that we lack drastically, and that is, apart from he's fast, he looks to get off the back of the shoulder of the defender. So what does he bring to Cardiff City? This is the juicy bit. This is the best bit, I think, is why would Lewis Koumas be a good fit for Cardiff City? Well, under Brian Barry Murphy, the direction of travel is clear. It's going to be a high technical season. It's going to be possession heavy. It's going to be high pressing. A lot of interchangeable movement in the front three. And there's going to be a lot of fluidity in movement. Well, that's right up Jason Koumas's... That is right up Lewis Koumas's alley. He's going to be ideal in the right-sided or left-sided forward role of a 4-3-3. Cutting inside or beating his fullback and crossing it in. Linking up with Ruben Colwell, Alex Robertson, maybe even allowing a fullback like a Kipakio or a Bagan or a Louis Giles to overlap and attack that space when he does cut in. He could also be used as a 9 in games where Brian Barry Murphy wants to play with a fluidity or he wants to try and get in behind. Barry Murphy has a lot of trust in young players. And, you've only got to look at what he's done elsewhere to see that. Koumas is going to be, if he comes to Cardiff, would get coached, played and trusted. I think that's massive for a player at the stage of career he's had. He needs a big season of playing. He'd also bring goals, not 20 a season, but smart goals, one-touch finishes, counter-attacks, late runs into the box. Let's talk about the pressure of the Koumas name, because you can't ignore the emotional part of this. Jason Koumas, still to this day one of the most naturally gifted players to ever wear the blue shirt of Cardiff City, was not just a baller, he was a moment maker. He did things with the football that didn't make sense. He left you just standing there going, what the hell have I just witnessed? Now, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited about the potential of seeing that surname on the back of that shirt again. Playing in front of 20,000 City fans. It's not just a marketing thing, it's got an emotional meaning, there's an emotional connection there, there's a romance to it. And you'd like to think that Lewis would feel the same way. As always, I want to look at the downsides, the doubts, because I don't want to get carried away. We've got to be honest about it. One, he's still young. Yes, he played 40-odd games in the Championship last season, but a lot of those were off the bench. It's still only 1 year. Can he deliver in League One when teams are sitting deep, low blocks, kicking you up in the air, and they dare you to get up again and do it again? And we also need probably experience. I would argue that maybe we don't need experience in that area. You just need the right attributes. But is Koumas the cherry on the cake, or are we going to be asking him to carry the cake? And it's something that has to be considered. Would he even want to come? He's been at Stoke. He's been in the Wales squad. He might have Championship or even overseas offers. Is League One going to really appeal to him? But then there's another interesting twist to it. The Bellamy, the Brian Barry Murphy, the Wales factor. Now, I'd like to think that Craig Bellamy, who is integral to the Wales setup as the manager, and he's building everything around him, you would like to think that he might be, regardless of what he thinks of the Cardiff hierarchy, I would like to think that if he's got Lewis Koumas's best interests at heart, playing week in, week out from the start is going to be beneficial for him, and it's going to be beneficial for Wales. Game time, tactical development, high pressure, high crowds, difficult moments. Playing 35, 40 games in League One for a big club like Cardiff, in a team playing expansive football with a manager who wants to improve you individually, that's got to be worth more than coming in and out off the bench, starting off the bench at a Championship side. Brian Barry-Murphy's system is demanding, but it is very, very developmental for young players. Koumas would learn, and he would learn fast. And when you're already in the Wales first team, but you want to get into the Wales starting lineup, playing regular football at club level is probably non-negotiable. Sitting in a Liverpool's under-21 squad or a Championship squad on the bench probably isn't going to cut it if you want to get in the Wales starting lineup. So let's round it all up a bit with a final verdict. And this is kind of where I land on it. If Cardiff can get Lewis Koumas on loan, it's an absolute no-brainer. He's tactically smart, he's technically gifted, he works hard, he fits the system, he brings that bit of magic and nostalgia with him. But equally, it won't be easy. There's going to be competition for his signature. We cannot promise him Championship football, but we can offer him 40 games a week, 40 games a season, £20,000 a week, a club with ambition and a system that fits him like a glove. So Lewis, if you're watching, mate, bring that Koumas name home. Pick up where your old man left off, but write your own chapter in Cardiff City's history. As always, guys, let me know what you lot think in the comments. Should Cardiff make a move for Koumas? Is he the right player? Is he a player that we need? Is it too risky? Is it a bit too outside the box? Do you think he would come even if we did? Would you like to see it? Let me know in the comments. Give me the context. As always, do not forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're not a member, please do become a member. This has been the Recruitment Report, only on Cardiff City World. I'm Si. See you in a bit. Keep the faith.